I'm Victor Lang, a 45-year-old millionaire, and this morning at 11:49 AM East, July 26, 2025, shifted my reality in ways I never imagined. My sprawling estate's garden buzzed with life, the air sweet with roses, a fountain trickling softly in the baccalaureate round, birds chirping faintly in the distance. My wealth had long defined my existence, but a heavy burden overshadowed it. My son, Ethan, now 12, had been wheelchair-bound since birth due to a severe neurological condition diagnosed early on. Despite consulting the best neurologists across Europe and pouring millions into experimental treatments and cutting-edge therapies, progress remained elusive. Each failed attempt chipping away at mate hope. My staff moved quietly through the halls, their pity a silent weight that hung over every interaction, and I felt a growing helplessness, my powerlessness a stark contrast to my financial success. Then, an unexpected figure appeared at the garden gate, an 8-year-old girl, Alina, her face smudged with dirt from the nearby streets, her clothes worn and frayed at the edges. Hunger etched deeply into her tired expression. Security, distracted by a delivery that morning, failed to stop her approach. She shuffled forward timidly and said in a small voice, "Give me food, and it'll help your son." I chuckled, brushing it off as a child's fanciful plea born of desperation, and told her to leave, my logical mind rejecting any notion of miracles. But she lingered near the gate, repeating her offer with a steady, almost unnerving voice that caught my attention. Frustrated by her persistence, I said, "Show me," and signaled a servant to bring a tray of bread, fruit, and a glass of water. Alina ate with urgency, her hunger undeniable as she devoured the meal in minutes. Then, sitting nearby in his wheelchair, watched with wide, curious eyes while our family doctor, present for a routine checkup, smirked skeptically, shaking his head. At first, nothing changed, and I felt a flicker of embarrassment for entertaining this. Then Ethan's leg twitched, a small, involuntary movement at first. I froze, my breath catching as he gripped the chair arms, struggling to stand with a determined grunt, and took a shaky, uncertain step forward. Alina offered a faint, shy smile, her eyes meeting mine briefly. The doctor, stunned, rushed to examine him, his hands trembling as he checked reflexes, finding improved nerve responses inexplainable but real, though not a complete cure, more a remarkable partial recovery. My heart pounded, tears welling up as hope, long dormant, flickered back to life, the garden's tranquility now charged with an electric tension. The fallout was immediate and intense. Word spread like wildfire within hours. By afternoon, reporters were at the gates, cameras flashing, microphones thrust toward us. I called in additional specialists from the city, who ran extensive tests. MRIs, nerve conduction studies confirming Ethan's mobility had improved significantly. His legs showed strength where there'd been none, though he still needed a cane for support, a limitation that only heightened the mystery. I sat Alina down in the study, asking how she did it, my voice gentle but probing. She mumbled about a feeling she couldn't articulate, her simplicity disarming me as she figurated with her hands. Guilt stung deeply. My initial doubt and curt dismissal had nearly robbed us of this moment, and I wrestled with the realization. I offered her a room in the estate, ensuring she had a safe space, and she accepted with quiet gratitude, her eyes reflecting a mix of relief and uncertainty. Then, overjoyed, clung to her, his laughter filling the air as he tested his new steps while I watched, torn between awe and disbelief. Weeks later, he walked with a noticeable limp but with growing confidence, a transformation I couldn't fully grasp, his progress tracked by daily physiotherapy sessions. My wealth, once my pride, felt secondary now, a tool rather than a trophy, and I quietly ensured Alina's needs were met. New clothes, a tutor, and a warm better presence reshaping our home's dynamics. Months rolled into a year, then two. Alina settled into our home, her presence a steady comfort amid the chaos her arrival sparked. Ethan's progress held, his limp lessening with dedicated physical therapy, his spirit buoyed by small victories like climbing stairs. Inspired by her act, I founded a small charity to support disabled children, channeling Alina's unexpected intervention into a tangible mission, hiring staff to manage it. The estate saw a steady stream of visitors, parents and kids, seeking Alina's gift, which I managed with caution, setting boundaries to protect her from exploitation, turning away those with wild expectations. She remained modest, often retreating to the garden to sketch or sit quietly, and Ethan grew stronger, our bond tightening with each shared moment of his recovery. Her story gained traction locally, featured in small newspapers and community boards, prompting me to document it in a detailed journal, shifting my focus from high-stakes business deals to a deeper, more personal purpose. The garden, once just a backdrop for garden parties, became a place of reflection and quiet hope. The estate began to change over time. Evan's wheelchair gathered dust in a corner of the garage, a relic of his past, and I commissioned a small plaque to honor Alina's unexpected role, placing it near the fountain where she first spoke, its inscription simple yet poignant. The charity grew steadily, Alina offering quiet encouragement during visits from families, her soft words a balm. We started hosting community meetups in the garden, my long-held skepticism fading as I saw the hope she inspired in others, the air filled with stories of resilience. Some claimed healings after meeting her children with minor improvements in strength, but I verified only a few cases with medical records, turning the garden into a modest gathering spot for support groups, complete with benches and a shaded area. I established a local program teaching empathy and resilience, with Ethan sharing his story at school assemblies, his voice gaining strength and confidence. Alina's soft words during these sessions seemed to lift spirits, her presence a quiet force that drew people in, her humility a stark contrast to my former cynicism. Evan's health remained stable, his improvement a marvel to doctors who revisited his case, their reports filled with cautious optimism. Alina aged gracefully, her youthful energy softening into a quiet wisdom, her face showing the weight of her early years. The charity expanded, helping dozens of families with resources and therapy, and I stepped back from my company's daily grind to fully support it, delegating to trusted managers. Local festivals began celebrating her impact, with Ethan leading youth workshops on perseverance, his determination a beacon for others. Her influence touched a tech initiative I backed, promoting kindness in design for assistive devices, and the program spread to nearby towns, drawing volunteers and small grants. The estate's walls echoed with new purpose, the garden a hub of activity. We then married a kind woman from the charity's network, a physiotherapist who understood his journey, his wife joining our cause wholeheartedly, bringing her expertise to the table. Their first child arrived, a girl named after Alina, carrying that legacy in name and spirit, her first steps a poignant echo of Ethan's. The estate hosted small community events, picnics, and talk her story, inspiring local artists to paint murals along the garden walls, vibrant colors depicting that fateful morning. The charity thrived, the mansion evolving into a community hub with a dedicated office space. Alina's effect even nudged local policies toward better disability support, with council members citing Evan's story, and he walked confidently at gatherings, a symbol of resilience. His cane, a rare companion. The garden held yearly meets, Evan's family growing with another child, a boy full of energy, Alina aging peacefully with a serene gaze that spoke of acceptance. The charity reached further, partnering with regional clinics for outreach. The estate a recognized landmark with a sign at the entrance. Festivals lit up with lanterns, art reflecting their journey in sculptures and paintings, the program teaching care to hundreds of students. Visitors saw Alina's presence, bringing gifts of flowers, and I managed the flow with a small team, her calm guiding us through the bustle. The estate glowed with purpose, that legacy enduring, the fountain's trickle a constant reminder. Her influence grew quietly over the years. Tech firms adopted her compassion model in user-friendly designs, and then leading a youth coding camp to create apps for accessibility. His leadership natural. Alina advised with gentle insight during planning sessions, her input shaping the camp's ethos, the school expanding to teach life skills like patience and teamwork. The estate hosted workshops for local leaders, seeking her wisdom on community building, her miracle shaping small laws around child welfare. Ethan's legs carried him through events, his stride steady, Alina's smile a steady guide as she sat among the attendees. The garden bloomed with hope, that story never fading, the legacy living on in every leaf. Communities embraced her tale, art capturing that morning in detailed sketches, Evan's journey filling local papers with interviews. Alina's face graced a community center mural unveiled at a ceremony, the school crossing town lines to partner with other districts, those lessons mending spirits with practical support. Evan shared his past at these events, kids listening intently, their questions thoughtful, the estate a beacon for hope with its open doors. Pilgrims visited, leaving notes of gratitude, and I kept order with a gentle hand, Alina's peace leading us through the crowds. The miracle held firm, that legacy vast and enduring, its roots deepening. Ethan's family grew, joining the cause with enthusiasm, Alina watching with joy as they played in the garden. The foundation saved lives through therapy grants, the mansion iconic with its history, festivals lighting paths with candlelit walks. Songs echoed her name in local chores, Ethan's voice strong and clear, Alina's touch still healing minor ailments with a comforting presence. The school spread hope to rural areas, that legacy reaching far with mobile classrooms, the estate glowing with purpose under starry nights. Alina's gift endured, a light that never dimmed, its warmth felt across the region. The garden held grander celebrations, lights honoring that spirit with colorful displays, Ethan's descendants thriving as they carried the torch, Alina aging with dignity, her wisdom a quiet force. The foundation touched more lives, the estate a landmark with guided tours, festivals drawing crowds with music and dance. Art reflected their journey in tapestries, the program teaching care to thousands, visitors seeking Alina's blessing with respectful nods. I managed the tide, her calm steering us, the miracle echoed in every story shared, that legacy burning bright. Tech influence deepened, and integrating her compassion into healthcare tools, and then leading innovations with a team of young engineers. Alina advised with calm during demos, the school becoming a regional hub, those lessons healing communities with outreach. The estate hosted summits, leaders seeking that wisdom, that miracle shaping policies on inclusion. Ethan's energy filled halls, Alina's guidance leading on, the garden glowing with hope, that story never fading. The legacy lived on forever, a beacon for all who entered.